Hey there, in this video I'm going to cover what types of apps you can build in 22 apps. So we're going to start off with this, which is what can my app look like? And as I go into this, I kind of like to place apps in two sort of different categories. One type of category I call the tool app, and the other type of category I call the resource app. And they're just kind of made up categories. They don't actually exist when it comes to publishing your app to Apple or Android, but it's a helpful distinction when it comes to creating your app. So let's go over through some examples to kind of show you visually what I mean by this. So a resource app is kind of like the perfect place for your clients to go to for all things you. So 22 apps is fantastic at creating things like where they come in and they can listen to your podcast, or they can access any membership content, or they can register for any upcoming events or watch your mini courses or any of this kind of stuff, register for live events. And if you're thinking, maybe I can have my blog, my articles, my membership stuff, my videos, my resources, all your content, my challenges, my webinars, my replays, anything that you feel is content that your clients are consuming on a regular basis. Heck, one of my clients even, he's like a golfer. He's like a golf pro, and he has content in there where people can both get in touch and get lessons from him, as well as virtual video lessons from him himself to prepare them and all that kind of stuff. So if you've got content and want to turn that into income, that is fantastic. In this example, my client, Kieran, who owns the Lady Alliance, which is super cool, basically has it where they come in and of course they can listen to the podcast, but secretly when they've watched to a certain point in the podcast, a button is going to pop up in the app and it's going to say, hey, would you like to book a call with me, with Kieran? And that's how she can monetize the podcast as well. She's got her membership I mentioned, but for the upcoming virtual and live events, she can actually invite them when she invites them to those events, she's actually selling at those events. And as well in the mini courses, when they've watched all the way to the 5th video, it's going to pop up and it's going to make them an offer, and it's going to say, hey, you just went through these last 4 videos. Why not join the next step? Right? So remember, this is always important to be thinking about how we're going to monetize this. This isn't just another website that sits around. This is a monetization tool. And so speaking of tool, the other example that I like to share is kind of like a tool app, where you can actually have it where there's some sort of functionality of the app that they're coming back to on a regular basis. In this example, my client David, who I like to share the story of, those little Keurig coffee pods. Like, the Keurig coffee pods that you put in the machine and goes and it, makes the coffee for you, whatever. Well, he's doing that, except with tea. So he has these little Keurig coffee pods, and they're filled with tea, and he has this well-off kind of branding. Basically, though, the idea of the app isn't centered around tea, but rather the lifestyle that people choose to live who consume his product. And so you can see here on screen, they come in and they choose their gratitude statement. They get a mantra card. It's like, who are you going to be for the day? They get some actions, and then it celebrates with some fireworks, some gamification. Woohoo! But see, the important thing is that we're noting how are we going to monetize that, right? How are we going to make money off of that? And so how David makes money off of that is every now and then it's going to offer a coupon code to go ahead and purchase product from his site, and it's going to say, hey, you've earned it. You've earned this coupon code to get 25% off, and of course they're going to go there because, well, again, they've earned that opportunity, right? It's like this idea of gamification, and you can have your app be any which way you want. Here's like an example of a card deck app where they pull a card with some info that is going to be important for them or meaningful for them for the day, and the best thing to do, like if you're looking for some inspiration about what 22 apps can and can't do, I'll share 2 things. Number 1, is you can go ahead and check out a bunch of the templates in the 22 apps builder. So all you do is you just, when you're in the 22 apps builder, you just go ahead and click on templates, and then it'll let you actually preview all the different things we have in there for things that have to do with, to just list off a couple that we see here: podcasting screens, video screens. If you have a team, you can list your team in the app so that people get to know you and the people you work with closest. An updates, timeline, podcast. This is like a content app. All this kind of stuff, right? So consider this. Be thinking about this, right? Like, what can you be building inside your app? And then the second resource that I'll put in the description below is an examples page of a whole bunch of different apps that we've designed. You can kind of go through this and check out, if there's anything that resonates with you or calls out to you. I'll just open up one to quickly walk you through it. So this is like an app for marketing purposes, where they come in and it's like, where do you want to focus today? And then it kind of like prompts them with a series of questions that is meaningful to most people when it comes to marketing. And it's like, oh yeah, like this happened. And it's like, oh, this, I see, this is where you went wrong. And like, we created a solution to fix it. And in this case, it's a checklist, but it could be a video, but it's just like an idea for an app, right? There's all sorts of things that you can create. And the last thing that I'll kind of share is with the 22 apps builder, how it works right now is you have access to these different elements, which are header, text, image, video, audio, button, list, icon, and divider, as well as control over like what pages they view and this kind of stuff, obviously. I'll explain that piece more and go over the elements in depth in other videos, though definitely check out all the app examples for ideas around that and what you can build with 22 apps. So I hope this has been helpful. Definitely go ahead and check all that out, and I look forward to seeing your success very soon with 22 apps.